What's up, beautiful people? Welcome back to Awakening with Wendy. Today's day 2 of my new challenge to myself to make a video every day. Let me tell you guys, it's been a real challenge. I actually made a whole video earlier, and then it got interrupted, so then I had to finish it in a separate video, and I had 2 videos. And then I've been trying like all day to merge them together into one video, and which has been a really good experience, but I'm running out of time here. Got some plans tonight, so I ran into every roadblock with editing those 2 videos together. Like, there's not enough room on my phone. I can't upload it to Google Drive for some reason. I can't get it on the cloud. It's super weird, so it's something I need to figure out how to do, but I'm also wondering if maybe there's a reason it's not working out so well, and like maybe I just need to try again. So I'm just gonna take some breaths and try to like see what comes through me. What should I talk about today? Well, the video I made before was a huge long story. I kind of gave more depth about like from the beginning of my life, this heart thing that I have, and like how I ended up needing surgery because of it. That's a story I'd like to share sometime, but maybe not today. I'm gonna sit down here. Making a video every day is hard, y'all. Let's just take a second to take some breaths together. I'm gonna take a deep breath. If you're feeling it, breathe with me. One more. I had like a whole story with the last video that I made, the one I can't get up, and it was pretty epic, I thought. I thought it would be good to share, but I might just share the message behind the story, which was that I learned from all this, from having heart surgery, heart failure. What I learned is to simply listen to my heart, because before that happened, I knew I had a heart problem, but I wanted to avoid it. I wanted to ignore it. And my heart would have palpitations, crazy loud palpitations. Like, it's kind of crazy I was even able to ignore it because they're so loud and hard, and it's just like a very noticeable heartbeat. But I wasn't listening to it because I didn't want to feel the fear of it when that would happen. So when I would have those palpitations, I would just kind of like ignore it and maybe, without even knowing it, take some action to like make it so I couldn't feel it, like maybe by drinking or, substance abuse. And that's really been causing me a lot of problems throughout my life. Anytime I try to ignore my heart, I feel like it just grows the pain, and I feel like it literally makes my heart fail. And I have evidence of that, because every time I ignore this heart problem and stop going to the doctors, that's when the heart will start failing again. And it's weird, I might not be doing anything different than when I am going to the doctors, but it's just like my heart's had enough. It says, no more, Wendy. I'm not gonna have you ignore me. I can't do it. It's like my heart saying to my brain, I can't do this without you. I'm not able to keep up like my job without your help and your attention. Please listen to me. I need you. And I kind of believe that everything happens for a reason. It's one of those things where I'm not like 100% sure I believe it, but it's fun to think about, right? And like, it's a good what if experiment, excuse me. God, I'm so fried from all the things I've tried to do today with this video. Yeah, a good what if experiment is, what if everything happens for a reason? I know exactly why I have this heart condition if everything happens for a reason, and that's because I'm supposed to share this message with others, because it's not that my heart's different, that it needs my brain to listen to it. It's the same as your heart's in that way. Like, we need to connect our hearts and our brains and have them. It's a two-way feedback system. In fact, let me think of how to phrase this. I read at the Heart Math Institute, which is a really great resource if you want to learn more about like the science of why it's important to listen to your heart. Heart Math Institute, and it was all about that. And they said something like, so you have signals that go from the brain to the heart, right? But you also have signals that go from the heart to the brain. There's actually more of those signals than the ones that go from the brain to the heart, which is to say that the heart is speaking more to the brain than the brain's actually telling the heart what to do. And that's a way different paradigm than what scientists used to believe. That's new information. But what we can do with that is to realize our hearts are speaking to us. They have something to say, and they're saying it all the time. Whether or not you choose to listen to it or understand it, it's still like influencing your brain and your consciousness. The heart has some neurons. It has I guess this is another belief. I don't have the science to back this up yet. But like, think about it. The heart has neurons, it has nerves and everything. I think the heart has a consciousness. And we have all these metaphors like listen to your heart, and in poetry it's talking about the heart all the time, and I always thought it was a metaphor, but now I'm thinking it's literal. Listen to your heart, see what it has to say. So someday I will go back and get that video online and tell the whole story. But for today, I just want to share the message that is my true calling, which is to say you don't have to have heart failure to stop ignoring your heart. Like, don't be like me, because that was a mistake that I made, where I ignored and avoided my heart because it scared me. And I avoided it until I almost died and needed people to save my life. And that's, I think, something that a lot of people do and suffer from. Like, you don't listen to your true, maybe you don't listen to your true yearnings of your heart, or maybe it's in pain and you're not wanting to hear that because you just want to keep going. You want to keep working. We live in this society where work is most important, and we want to be tough and strong and capable. But like, are you doing that at the expense of your heart's desires? Are you ignoring your heart and living in pain to achieve the things you're trying to achieve? If that's the case, then it might be a time to like really slow down and think about what's important to you, and like realign with that. If you're not living your life based on what's important to you, you could be ignoring your heart like I was. And trust me, it's not healthy for anyone. And so if you're wondering like how to get in tune with the heart, like closing your eyes and taking a deep breath and just putting your heart on, or hand on your heart, is one good way. Just like, let's do that together for a second if you want. And when I close my eyes, I feel like your consciousness feels like it's in your head a lot, right? Especially when your eyes are open, you have so much of your brain going to visual processing. But when I close my eyes and put my hand on my heart, it's like it drops down. Like I seriously feel like my consciousness goes more into my heart. So that's one way to get more in tune with your heart. Like, you can pay attention to your pulse and stuff, and just notice if you have, like, if your heart's beating fast, just notice it. And one thing I do a lot now is I'll ask my heart, because I have pain still. I have palpitations, I have chest pain sometimes. And so when that happens, guys, this is new for me. It's actually like hard for me to do because it scares me still so much. Like, sometimes I just don't want to face what's going on with my heart. I'm scared. I'm afraid it's gonna fail again, or I have an implant, like a defibrillator implanted in my chest. I'm afraid it's gonna shock me. And like there's this weird part of me that believes if I think about it, it's gonna happen. So I think that's part of why I used to ignore my heart, is like I kind of believed if I ignored it, it would just go away. And it felt like it worked for the majority of my life until it didn't work. And then like I got this life-saving surgery and my heart got better. And so I was like, cool, sweet, that's taken care of. Then I started ignoring it again, and guess what? Like, I got shocked by this defibrillator on 3 separate occasions. Finally got my butt back to a doctor. And now I know I can't ignore my heart. So I was saying to you guys, my heart has palpitations, it has pain, and what I do is I literally stop what I'm doing, kind of just slow down. I'll be like, heart, are you okay? Actually, to be honest, my first response is usually like annoyed, like, oh, what is wrong with you? What are you doing? But that's just my ego talking, right? That's not like, because my intention is not to treat my heart badly like that. I think of it as like a being that deserves love and compassion and respect for all the hard work it's done to stay alive and keep the rest of my body, including my ego, alive. So when I have that reaction, I stop and I'm like, no, that's not the reaction I want to have. And then I might put my hand on my heart, but I literally say to it, are you okay? What's wrong? What can I do for you? And like, I try to listen. And when I do that, a lot of the times the pain just goes away, and I'll even feel this like little gurgle, and this like, it's like the heart sighs in relief, like it gurgles a little bit and then the pain just like disappears. I'm like, whoa, all you wanted was for me to pay attention. Like, maybe it was in pain because it felt ignored. I know that I've been in pain because I felt ignored, right? If we can just have true compassion for our hearts, you can, open up so much of like who you really are. Because the heart's part of who we are. We're not just our brains. I was about to say we're our bodies. And I do believe that to an extent. I believe we're also more than our bodies. But yeah, my body's totally part of me. If I'm going to think my brain's all there is to me, it's not like that, especially when we have nerves all over our body that are always communicating to the brain. It's crazy. We're not just our brains. There's a lot of other resources we have. So to recap, listen to your heart. If you notice anything, like maybe you're out of breath, or it's beating really fast, or you have a like tingling chest pain, or maybe you have a good tingling, like anything you notice, you can always take that second to stop and slow down and ask your heart, like with true compassion, just like you would ask a friend, what's up? You okay? What can I do for you? How can I help? And I think that's the message, the main message I'm supposed to share today, is that we all have this amazing tool. Not a tool, it's like a creature almost that's living inside of us. And it's not there just to be ignored. It's there to like be a partnership, a team with the brain. And you have the power to listen to it and access this power of your own heart space and your literal heart organ. And I'd be so happy if just like one person listened to this and started to connect with their own heart a little bit more. I'd be so interested to hear what came out of that. So if that does happen to you, please comment, or you can email me at awakeningwithwendy@gmail.com. I'd love to hear all your stories. I think that's all, folks. Let me just take another breath here, make sure I've said everything I need to. My heart wants me to channel it, a message from it, so I'll try to do that. I'm so happy that Wendy has made the choice to listen to me. It makes me so happy every time she shows compassion for the pain that I feel and asks me how she can help.